Hi everyone, my name is Mariah. I am a grade 12 student at the International School of Bangalore, and I am here with Candida, Preetham. Candida founded MANA, a development disability center providing holistic development to children with special needs in Bangalore. In India alone, 18 million kids are born with autism every year, and less than 1% of them receive adequate care. Mana proposes to change that. Focused on providing individual human care, Mana was started by Candida after she gave birth to twins with autism. Her story is incredibly inspiring, and we are very happy to have her here. So thank you, Candida, for being here today with us to share your story. To start off, what is the significance of the name Mana?
As I was going on with my journey with my kids, my twins, as you mentioned, um, there's a lot of uncertainties when you are a parent of two children with autism, because you do not know when they talk, when they're going to walk, are they going to school, or am I really going to see them get married, or all those little things, are they going to eat on their own? So the word mana means what is it, because it's from the Bible, where the people of Israel cross the wilderness. God provides manna. Manna is heavenly food, but that's not why we keep. A lot of food industry have the name manna, but the word manna means what is it? Because for me, every day was a surprise. Some days were tough, but some days my kids surprised me. I mean, a child who doesn't even talk for 6 months or like 8 months will just say a full sentence. So that's how autism is. It's very, very different. So mana is for parents who have this mindset, like, what is this going to be? Yeah. So
So it's
yes,
sort of like taking things one day at a time, just accepting
exactly.
what comes.
Exactly. It's one day at a time. You can't plan too much. Yes, it's like I cannot plan and keep like I'm going to send my child to this school or this college. I mean, it's just that every day, uh, every day gives you its benefits. Yes.
And how did all of it start? How did Mana start?
Mana started, I would say, accidentally. It was not too pre-planned. But as me and my husband were going through the journey with my twins with autism, Irene and Jordan, I got them diagnosed in Bangalore and I moved to Bangalore. By God's grace, we were able to give the best care. Like we had ABA, applied behavioral therapist, and we had speech therapy, we have occupational therapy, and it was so expensive for us to afford because just 2 hours of intervention for them each costed us a lot. And um, and uh, and also me being in the field, I worked as a therapist before, so me being in the field, I was able to come back and work with them. When we were going through this journey, Maria, what happened was, it was so tough for us to afford, and we were wondering, is this only for the rich? Is autism only for the rich? Because these interventions cannot be afforded by the poor, because the people from low income groups or people from the middle class family, it's tough for them to afford. And we realized that um, it's too expensive. Like, for instance, a month would cost more than 35 to 40,000 just to have an hour of intervention. So it is really difficult, and it's very expensive now. I'm talking about 2011, where I paid like 500 per hour for my children, and now it's 1,200, the therapies. So it was very expensive. So we were wondering, is this only for the rich? So that's when we I had I stay in Kotonou, so maybe 2 bus stops away from me, there is a small urban village, I can say, called Kannur, where I went to the small village school. It's run by an NGO. So I went there, sat in that school, kindergarten school. As you said, there are so many million children. My question was, where are they? So I went and sat in and observed the kids. And to my surprise, I just picked up twins like my own. So their name is Thamal and Subhash. And the mother is a quarry worker, and the mother had no clue what their children were going through. Because when I asked the teacher said, oh, they are in the kindergarten class. They come to the school because the mom goes for quarry work, and what they do is they come back come to school, so they get food, and they're taken care. And when I asked the teacher said they don't trouble anybody. They just sit facing the wall. They do what they want to do, but end of the day, they don't harm anybody. They go back home. So I went and met their mother, Vasanti, and she said, the sad story was, she said, my husband left me and went and remarried because I bore two kids who couldn't speak, who couldn't. I mean, all she knew is my children couldn't speak or study. So she didn't know the word autism at all. So I brought them home, and I hadn't registered Manna then. I just took one small room, and I had a therapist by then coming home for my kids. The deal with my therapist was like, hey, look, I'll pay for my kids. You give free intervention for these two. So he had at least half the heart to help me. He's an ABA therapist. So then I realized I need to register. I cannot do it like this. I need to run it professionally. I cannot just go by my emotions. So though I was helping on the side, we registered it in December 2011. So this is how we started, one step at a time. Even our logo, if you say walking together, it's not only for the kids, for us too. Every day it's one step at a time. And we didn't plan too far. But the need is so much that where we are today is because, I mean, we don't advertise. We have never advertised. We have never gone public on newspapers. Every day people walk in. Every day I get calls. So I feel that there's so much of need. That's when, we are still functional till today.
And this whole process must have been so um, hard. It must have been, emotionally hard as well. And I think you spoke a little bit about faith. Um, what role did faith play in this whole journey?
Maria, it makes a huge difference for me. I believe in Jesus, and my it's not about a religion. I strongly believe it's the relationship I have with God. I strongly believe through my tough days, through my lonely days, where my kids had no eye contact, no body awareness. My children didn't even have. I would always say, to an extent, that they didn't even have. They didn't even know the difference between playing clay, and their feces. It was really hard, and it was tough when they didn't speak a word for like 6-7 years. And when you're in this lone journey, your faith increases. When you don't see any hope that day. I don't go to church because I cannot have both of them in church because they are absolutely misbehaved. And I could say I would stand outside and come back, and I go to the park. Children won't play with my kids, so it was tough. Inclusion was really tough. So all along in my journey, I would say um, Christ strengthened me, and where I am today, I am able to do what I can with the rest of the people is because God's love. Because I was strengthened in my lonely journey. Of course, my husband was with me, but he is a sailor. He sails most of the time. He's there with us 3 months on and 3 months off. So I have an older daughter too. So it was really tough for me to be on my own. And I feel I encourage all mothers to, have faith. It's important that you have faith in God.
Yeah. And I've personally spoken to a lot of women from the rural areas who have, they were at their lowest, and it was faith that actually got them through that. And now they're actually very happy. They've achieved their dreams. So I think it is
Mm.
something that is important to many people in their lives to carry them.
Yes. Yes. That's a time where you don't have time to socialize, or you don't even have the mood to socialize, and you don't see the right friends. All the friends that you have become insignificant. I know I've got back my friends after 20 years, but it has been hard. A mother with autism also secludes herself. You also go through depression, and you don't want to meet people. And that's a time, I think, I mean, that's the time you realize that only faith can take you. Faith in God can take you, because everything else fails. Mm.
And and so my next question for you would be, what can we as a society do to help create social equity in education for children with autism or children who have a mental illness or disabled? What can we as a society do for them?
Society can do a lot. It's a lovely question because I that's a very passionate question, because if you believe in mana, our focus is not seclusion, our focus is mainstreaming, and I strongly believe in mainstreaming and including them in the society. Mainstreaming is the process of inclusion. So be it I said park, I mentioned park, my children were excluded in the park. My so I mean, first of all, you need to have awareness in different levels. So we do a lot of street plays in primary health centers. We do in the urban and the rural. We do in the malls. We've done in Orion Mall. We've done in the on the road near MG Road, and we feel even the educated people do not know what's autism. So raising awareness is the first part. As a community, as students, you can do raising thing. And the next part is I feel somewhere down the line including them in schools, because we struggle to get a school for them. In Mana, what we strongly believe is include them in regular stream. And when we go and ask admissions, children with autism have exceptional academic skills. Some of them, they are extremely good in math, they are extremely good in languages. So we have no clue, we don't have a system that would accept them as they are. Though we have the RT, right to education, though we have all the bills there, we have the government putting in all the provisions, but in reality schools don't accept them. So students can take up a stand. And I mean, I'm also running a petition which says mainstreaming kids with autism. I can forward that to you. It's really tough, because every time we go, I go and approach the education department. I meet the people who are there to make changes. um, it's sad because they keep changing, and by the time my petition is still running, actually, if you see. So it's sad. So inclusion is the key. That's the best part. In any way, it could be a church, it could be a temple, it could be a mosque, it could be a marriage hall. So I always ask this question: how many children with autism do you see in a marriage hall? Does that mean they don't exist? Definitely they are. They are all kept at home. Yeah, so society has a lot of inhibitions against them. So you as a student can make so much of difference by raising awareness on what's happening. Because what I do is, what we do is just a drop in an ocean. That's what I say. We just, the need is so huge. I just take care of 60 kids, and we have started community based care. We train the mothers and place them over the children too. So we started training. Mothers training is our focus in Mana now this year. But how much can I reach? So I encourage all the mothers to get stronger. That's what we do in Mana. So we have in a slum area where 5 mothers have come together, and the mother is just not educated much, but she's trained herself as a therapist. So that's my biggest success, I would call it, rather than a trained mother or a master's degree mother comes in and becomes a therapist. So that mother can do therapy for her son, as well as train the other children in the slum. That's our biggest success. So I encourage you, as a student, as an individual, when the subject becomes a coffee table conversation, that's when we reach more. It's not about many times I feel the flyers, and that doesn't work. It's about my experience becomes your experience, and that goes on, the journey goes on. Yes.
It has to become a normal topic of conversation for people to actually listen.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
I
believe.
agree. So you spoke a little bit about training mothers in through Mana. So what piece of advice would you give parents of autistic kids?
The biggest advice is, as a mother, get stronger, roll up your sleeves and work. Yeah, because we, in the name of therapy, we have stopped working. We think we can't do, but I feel a mother can do 80% of the work. She's responsible for working with the child at home, because a child literally, using, if you use common sense, the child stays at home most of the time. 1 hour of therapy or 2 hours of therapy, it really helps, but it really doesn't make a huge difference. The mother's heart towards first accepting the child as the child is, and number two, ready to work anytime. Everything becomes therapy. Toilet training becomes therapy. Eating becomes therapy. It's not about writing all the time. It's not about academics all the time. Life skills become therapy at home. So I encourage all the mothers to do what you can at home. You don't have to do what you can't, but engage the child every waking hour. That's my advice. Yes.
And my last question for you would be, you've gone through so much, such a difficult journey, but what has been the most life affirming moment till now?
For me, uh, the best moment is every time I see a mother grow stronger. Yeah, every time I see, I mean I don't have a remedy or a quick cure to autism, but what I feel is, it is so nice and so beautiful and encouraging for me when I see children transform, and I feel children transform when the mothers grow stronger, and the entire family supports the child, and then it starts there. When the mother accepts, then the family accepts, then the society accepts in large. That's the biggest uh, life affirming moment, and I feel that when you bring to the world, the rest of the world, that a child with autism has a place in the society, be it music, be it academics, be it anything, they excel in. That's an awesome moment too.
And for you personally, if you don't mind me asking, with you and your children, what was the
Yes.
happiest or the most emotionally inspiring moment with your children personally?
Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you, there has been time, because my son, who's still not completely verbal, he's 13 years old now. When he comes on stage and plays the drums, the first time people look at him as a person, that's an awesome moment for me. And I also always would say that the first time my children call me mommy, we take it for granted that the child starts calling mommy as early as 8 months old. Yeah, but my kids started calling me after five, not even 5 years old. My daughter when she was just 6 years old, and for me personally, my son, I mean, he even now calls me mommy only when he needs something. But that's very beautiful to hear, because a mother wants to hear that again and again and again.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sure it must have been amazing to hear that word come out of them after so long. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. True.
Anyways, thank you so much, Candida, for being here today with us. We really appreciated you sharing your story with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.